Hi guys! So I'm doing a 15-minute mini journey healing and wisdom session. This is for Amanda. And Amanda had a really interesting vision and actual spiritually transformative experience where she found herself back in the origins of her soul, which was such an ancient experience. It was mind-blowing for her. And experiencing all these lifetimes had all of these fragmented parts of her soul and integrating all of that into herself. And she's just been emanating a transformation or awakening energy for days. And it's been very powerful for her. And she's asked me to go into her spiritual atmosphere and see what I see. And she's really curious to get my perspective on that. I think this is going to be really interesting for all of us. And Amanda, thank you so much for exploring this with me. I'm absolutely delighted about your experience, and I'm totally touched and honored to have the opportunity to explore it with you and get to share it with everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and relax here. So I'm getting connected here with Amanda's spiritual atmosphere. So it's hard to speak just yet. Right now, all I could describe is I'm walking through what is, you could say it's a doorway, a rounded doorway, but the doorway is expanded. So it's a really long hallway that is a circular, it's kind of a circular aspect on the top. It's sort of like a rounded doorway, but it's a hallway. It's kind of exhausting, to be honest. And it's dark everywhere. And I'm gravitating down this very long hallway. And that's my experience right now. There's golden mallets and the experience of drums being beaten. There's a lot of liveliness and what are beautiful feathers, lots of beautiful feathers, and I get emanation of like peacock tails, but there's actual men, like tribal men, and the way that they're decorated in the feathers is not like Native American. It reminds me more like something which would be more like South America, or they kind of more have a Hispanic look to them, not like Africa tribal. So they're beating drums and there's beautiful feathers and it feels like a celebration. All the while, I will say there's something kind of looming on the backside of my heart, like there's something I'm seeing something. There's two sides of the perspective here. So I'm gonna just continue gravitating forward, and we'll see where spirit takes us. Okay. There's actually a lot of pain, energetic pain, and your heart has a huge black encrustment on it, and it's almost like dark light, actually. So it's black light, but it's not like I'm in a black light and it's got a purple glow. It's black glow. It's like glowing black. And the heart is covered in a crust, and it's actually kind of burnt into the heart. And this crust actually needs to get removed from your heart because you, Amanda, are some stuff somehow must have kicked into the surface layer of your atmosphere, and I'm being called to clear that stuff out so you can really continue to emanate this experience, because there's some burnt crust on the heart, and the heart is black and there's a black glow. That's not necessarily a bad thing. The black glow isn't the bad thing. It's this black crust it's like a scab on the heart, and they're asking me to remove it, but I will tell you it's attached and it's burnt on there, and for me to remove it is worse than me pulling a Band-Aid off. I mean, it's like removing the skin and some juices of the heart and some flesh of the heart, and it's very painful. So I've got to look at this here. The drummers are still drumming, and it's like an encouragement. It's like an experience of encouragement, and it's like a climactic buildup, and there's lots of drumming, and they're not getting excited because they're so serious. They're so focused and dedicated, and the sounds and the purpose of the ceremony, and their purpose in the ceremony, and the value of the drums, and they're very focused on how they're beating the drums, and they're sort of beating them not rhythmically, but actually kind of in different movements, and there's different size drums that are being beat in different ways, and there's constant like sounds of drums. So I'm still looking at this black glowing heart here. And again, I'm telling you, the black glow is actually a special thing. It's not a scary thing at all. It's actually a special thing, and very unusual for me to see this. The scabby thing, though, is really, it's like total hardship. It's like the things that burnt into your heart in life that you'll never forget. Like it burnt itself to your heart, and it's scabbed there. So this stuff is very tender, and it's clinging to your heart, actually, and you need this removed from your heart. So there's something about this. It's quite overwhelming for me energetically to describe, because there's so much energy in the power of the drums and the glowing black and the meaning of the scar tissue. I mean, it's scar tissue, but it's scabbed and it's burnt onto the heart, and I'm still working on removing it. So very overwhelming energetically. Because the intensity, there's a lot of intensity going on here. But in the process of me healing you, there's a knife that comes and it just stabs straight into the heart. And in a weird way, this feels better. To get the heart stabbed with this knife feels better than to actually have me to try to remove the scar tissue, because that is ripping it off. It's kind of like ripping it off worse than a Band-Aid, where this knife is sort of, well, that's kind of the scar tissue. It's kind of like, well, the knife in the heart, I can work with that, but removing the pain that was actually damaged into my heart, I can't work with that. I can't work with removing the painful experiences in my life. But for me to get a knife in the heart, I can handle that. It's almost like I would expect that to happen, so I already have a barrier because I would expect that. So that's also not good. So the knife is just, I mean, it's just going to town here. Where sort of like your heart is on the butcher block, and the knife isn't cutting the heart like we're chopping carrots. It's actually like a crazy, like psychotic Rambo, stabbing your heart a million times over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It won't stop. All this drum is quieting. And I see you, actually, everything is quieting. Even the sounds, the intensity, the sounds, the glowing, the knife, all that stuff, relaxing. And then I see you, and you're holding yourself in the dark, and there's a light that is sort of descending down upon you. And you look at me and you cry and you say, Abby, why does life have to be like this? I have like a million thoughts, a million responses to this question, but all I do is smile at you and emanate love like an angel, you know. One of the things I wanted to tell you was that you're holding on to a lot of hurt, Amanda. And the reason why life has to be like this is because you're actually choosing to still feel the hurts. So when we let go of the hurts, life actually no longer is like this, because we let go of those hurts and we're mending our heart. And you need to do heart mending work. There's just so much sadness here. It's like, please don't tell me I have to do heart mending work. I say, you're not doing it by yourself, sweetie. I actually say, like, honey, you're not doing it all by yourself. You aren't. And when it feels like I don't want to do heart mending work, it feels like the life pathway where we have to endure the suffering of everything alone, where we carry all of our baggage, where we have nobody to really help us, lift us up, to carry us through these very difficult experiences that now brand into our hearts, and they leave an imprint that is so hurtful and so wounded that to get stabbed 1,000,000 times is no big deal anymore. But there's something about this that we got to really get into those tender wounds, and allow those wounds to say, I'm going to do it differently. Instead of working with pain, or allowing pain to remain as a shield in case the pain gets worse, I can tolerate it. It's sort of like you get enough pain, your pain tolerance increases, right? But that's actually going in the wrong direction, believe it or not. Our world, a lot of us are... We numb ourselves, we shield ourselves, we don't trust people, we do things in order to protect ourselves from pain. But if the pain tolerance is high enough, then and we can expect it, then it doesn't hurt as bad, right? But that's actually imprisonment. That's self-imprisonment, where we really need to say, I need to be able to live in a world where I can trust. And I'm going to trust in the universe, or trust in my higher self, and trust in myself to guide me into experiences that are trustworthy, and that are loving and nurturing to my senses. And now I no longer have to shield myself from somebody I can't trust, because I'm going to welcome in, I'm going to choose to experience a trustworthy world. Now I define the world that I live in as a trustworthy world. I live in a trustworthy world. Now there's nothing to worry about that I can't trust people, or I can't trust in this world. Something along these lines. We have to do the opposite thing. We have to allow ourselves to heal the wounds instead of keep them in case life gets bad and they actually are like a pain tolerance buildup. Like that's not the right pathway forward for you, my friend. That you're actually, this visionary thing is actually what, how do I put it into words? The right direction for you, my friend, is not, you need to mend your heart because you're doing heart work. You can't actually do heart work when your heart is covered in scabs and you're working with a pain tolerance. That's actually not doing heart work, because you got to put the power back into yourself to learn how to work with other energies, not pain, not the bad memories, but actually working with love in order to come to peace with the events of your life, to work with love in order to come to peace with events in the world, even to come to peace with relationships. But there's something about you're holding still a lot of pain within yourself. This vision, I mean, this is all a part of your next step, big time. Like this visionary thing is actually, the doorway's open. You're ready. You're spiritual. This is your calling. This is your moment. This is a big deal. Now the next thing to transitioning into this spiritual pathway, the big door open here, big door open, big message, big sign here. Undeniable sign here, hardcore sign here. So you want to step into a spiritual pathway. Well, you can't step into a spiritual pathway because spiritual pathways are full of love if you aren't also full of love. And now it's time to do the inner work and to heal the inner parts of yourself that are burned, that are scar tissues, that are branded into the heart. Because the more that you have the love in the heart, the more that you are truly who you truly are. The more you are the creative forces of the universe, the more that you are in the balance, okay? So the next huge step for you is really to do the heart healing work. And this actually is, like they're showing me, this is a whole kit and caboodle of new developments, new self-discoveries, new ways of, they show me like skis. You kind of slide your feet. So sliding in new directions, moving forward in a sliding manner, but working with a new step or a new walk is kind of how they're balancing that image. It's like we usually walk forward, but this way you're going to be using the skis to move forward. It's going to feel different. It's going to be a little bit different, but it's actually going to be better, fun, new taste in life. And it's going to show you a lot about yourself, and you got to mend your heart big time got to mend your heart. They ask me what I can do to mend your heart. So I actually take your heart in my hand and I go, and I blow a soft breeze of love. In this soft breeze of love, it is the remembrance of who you are. And who you are is a creation of love. And I blow that remembrance into the inside of your heart, actually. It's within the nucleus. There's like a white glow now on the inside of your heart, because you can't actually pull the scab wounds off of the heart. You have to go and do it from the inside. So you make yourself brighter from the inside, not from the outside in. You make yourself brighter from the inside out, like a light bulb. A light bulb would be useless. Like the light bulb can't be bright out there. It's got to come from within itself, and then the light shines outward, right? So we got to be like that. We got to create the light bulb within us, which is love. Love is the element that creates the light within us. So they're just having me, the glow is sort of there, and it's just developing the experiences that it is developing. And I see that this heart with this glow is creating a warmth and nourishment to what was burnt. It actually feels like a warm, a nurturing, warm feeling, and not an intense, angering, scalding feeling. It's actually a cozy warmth. And it's just sort of like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It radiates this warmth, and it gets into those scar tissues. And it tells the scar tissues it's okay. It's okay to let go now. It's okay to let go now. Scar tissues are actually weeping and saying, I can't let go. I can't let go. It hurt too much. If you don't let go, then you'll remain hurting too much. So when you're ready to receive love, then you got to trust in love. And that trust is the leap of faith. That letting go is the one thing that gets you to love, and not holding on to the pain. This heart here with this glowing light from within itself, I'm handing it, or I see it placed within the version of you that's sort of on the ground holding yourself close, and it's sort of dark everywhere. I see you stand up, and you're in a basement, and for some reason you open the window of a basement, and it's not a big window by any means, it's a small window. You find the strength to climb out of the basement, and you're wiggling your body through this small window, and you're getting up and out of that window, and you're getting outside. This fresh sunlight is like the first time you ever saw it. You actually thought that this was all the light, that this was all the light that there was just the light that came in from the window into the basement where you were sitting upon you in the darkness, in the shadow around you. And the sun is everywhere. It's like all around you. Like you just like, what? It's actually bright everywhere? Are you serious? Oh, wow. It actually is very helpful for you to have light outside of yourself. And in this way, it's sort of like having friends that are like sunshines for you to help you remember that the light is all around you, not just within you, but it's also all around you. So it emanates through friendships, and, it's sort of like there's angels that we can't see emanating light and reminding us about light, and we don't even know that they're there. But we also can have friends too that can remind us how bright and sunny the days can be when there's love and helpfulness and kindness. And you really appreciate that. Your soul really appreciates those sunshines in your life, because they help you to feel brighter on the inside of yourself as well. And they help you to release those wounds too. So you don't have to do it all by yourself. All right, Amanda, that's all I can share with you. Super interesting. Not what I expected, but that is exactly what you needed to hear. Not so much what does it mean? How, I want, it's been really amazing for me. I was pretty excited to step into your spiritual atmosphere and experience that myself, but really I'm here to do God's work, so to speak. So really I'm supposed to guide you through what the meaning is and what we can do to keep you moving forward on this calling and this pathway. And the next step for you is really just, keep allowing yourself to feel that love, feel transformed by that love, and start going inward and working on your heart. And that's part of your spiritual pathway. Anybody who's on a spiritual pathway, you have to heal yourself in order to heal others. You have to keep working on yourself. That's the only way to access to be your higher self more and more and more every day, is to continue to shed the layers of what's holding you back, which is fear, which is hurt, which is the pain, which is the, I'm going to keep up a pain tolerance in case I get stabbed so it doesn't hurt as much. It's like, that's not really living a life of spirit. That's like living a damaged life, and we don't want to let go of the hurt just in case. we gotta do a different, we need a different strategy there. Anyway, you are going to feel a lot brighter on the inside of yourself. I know that you're feeling great right now, but you actually are going to feel a really deep brightness and a deep understanding. This actually is going to deeply touch you. I can tell. So that's all I can say. Can't say anymore. Anyway, thank you so much, Amanda. This was really a fantastic experience, and I really appreciate you wanting to openly share this with others as well. And for those of you watching, if you're interested in connecting with me for a session, I'd love to help you in your life. Please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you all for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful day.